a real paradise. Not too many people know Calabria, despite the fact that we have a big community here. Not too many Canadians had the luck and the pleasure to go to Calabria, a region that is still partly unknown, full of treasures of culture and obviously fantastic food. Welcome tonight, welcome to everybody. Welcome to Tutti a Tavola and welcome to In Calabria, a series of 4 cooking lessons with 2 fantastic guests, Luciano Schifano and Jenny Arena, and we will talk about product, the excellence from Calabria. This series has been possible because of the help of Fortinos. Their sponsorship is always very important. I'm very happy to announce this continual partnership, and I hope in the future we'll be able to visit other regions. Throughout these 4 cooking classes, we will learn about these products and how to use them in a traditional Calabrese recipes brought us by a chef that was born and raised in the beautiful region. Luciano Schifano, a real local authority, a Toronto authority about Calabria, is connecting, from the newly opened Culinario studio and event space. Chef Luciano and Culinario what is Culinario? Is a culinary studio and event space open by Luciano, okay? It offers an engaging and hands-on cooking classes and workshops led by talented chefs. And the idea is chef in residence. But Luciano keeps a continuous relationship with Calabria, brings people, Canadians, to Calabria. He organized these fantastic tours that are a fusion of cultural, gastronomy, and also enology. Culinarium is the perfect space for a private or corporate events. It's also available for chefs needing to rent a commercial kitchen. Due to COVID-19, the space has a limited capacity, but all activities are following a strict COVID-19 protocol with deep sanitation and cleaning procedures. Welcome also to Jenny Arena, the food writer Jenny Arena. Jenny is the daughter, and I know she's a proud daughter of Southern Italian immigrants from Calabria, from Reggio Calabria, who instilled the appreciation of food in her at a very young age. More specifically, that of the humble Calabria kitchen. Jenny is also the writer behind the Fables and Focaccia blog, and she has participated in numerous ICCO Canada events. I want to steal you just 1 minute to tell you about the future events, upcoming ICCO Canada events. Tutti a Tavola cooking classes on Tuesday, the focus is Calabria, and also prosciutto di Parma. Wine master classes on Thursday, week of Italian cuisine in November, Pentola d'Oro, from November the 23rd to November the 27th. Also, I make a pledge, become a member. If you want to know more about ICCO Canada, if you want to work with us, if you want to know more about Italy, please become a member. And right now, I will inform you, but also that you can follow us on the social media. And now I kindly ask to Chef Luciano Schifano to start.
Thank you so much, Corrado, for the introduction. Welcome, everybody, at Culinarium. Welcome in Calabria with Chef Luciano and Jenny. It's such an honor to be here. It's such an honor to represent my Calabria, our Calabria, and bring Calabria to your tables tonight here from Culinarium. We have chosen 3 beautiful, delicious recipes for your table tonight. And we have an appetizer, we have a main course, un primo piatto, and a dessert. Jenny, she's very nostalgic about this dish, right?
This dessert in particular, until I learned how to make it, was the one that I kept requesting would come back in a suitcase anytime somebody went to Calabria.
And the name is stomatico.
Stomatico, yes.
You're probably going to tell us about stomatico a little bit after. This is the season of cherry pepper. Whoever had his backyard or even not, they can probably pick this beautiful cherry hot pepper to stuff with tuna calipo that we got at Fortino's. Now is available at Fortino's. Also, you can check with the local stores. We're going to start with the tuna, anchovies, capers, and then we're going to show you how to preserve them to have this during your winter season. And we have the king of the Calabrese salami, Nduja. So Nduja is actually the right pronunciation of this is Nduja. And we're going to make gnocchi stuffed with Nduja, and the sauce is going to be just made with a red onion, fresh peeled tomatoes, and rosemary. So to start, and I hope that everybody has printed the recipe and will join us on this. Jenny, you're going to start making the stomatico, and I start making the gnocchi. All right? So I will introduce the gnocchi. You may see that I don't have potatoes here, but I have a ricotta. This is just something that is more simple for us to start making gnocchi without boiling the potatoes and making the pureed potatoes. And as you see, there are no eggs in this gnocchi recipe. So we have the sila. Sila is well known for potatoes, and we want to honor the sila. But because the cooking class tonight, we just trying to stay in the time frame, and we use a ricotta. If you want to use gnocchi, you just switch and change the same amount of ricotta with potatoes. My favorite potatoes, Idaho potatoes. So in Canada, unfortunately, we don't have potato from Sila, but we have amazing potato even in Canada, I have to say. And my favorite are Idaho potato because they're very high in starch. So if you want my tips, I just suggest you that. Jenny, you want to introduce the recipe?
Yes, absolutely. So this is, as Luciano mentioned, it's a recipe that is nostalgic for me. It actually hails from the region where my family is from, Calabria. And this, you could consider it a precursor to mostaccioli. It's called stomatico, and the word stomach you will recognize in its name because of its digestive properties. It has herbs that are known to aid digestion, such as cloves and cinnamon. And so this is typically enjoyed after a meal to help digest. So basically, to make this, we've got flour, some sugar. Okay. This is the combination of cinnamon and cloves.
I love this combination. It's so powerful.
So fragrant. If you guys could only smell what's going on here right now.
Wait to finish baking, and the whole neighborhood is going to ask us, what is going on there? And I believe your houses are going to smell so lovely tonight.
Yes. Very reminiscent of the holidays this set too.
Yes.
So we've combined all the dry ingredients, and then we're going to make a well in the center. And we're going to add, oh wait, actually, sorry, I forgot my baking powder. My apologies.
Or ammonia, if
ammonia.
they don't know, but ammonia was a very old, before the baking powder. So the people use ammonia or baking soda. Some local stores still carry this baking powder, but if you don't have ammonia, ammoniaca, for i nostri cari amici italiani, you can simply use baking powder, so the same amount.
So next we're going to add into our wells olive oil. Okay. And we prepared earlier, just for the sake of time, because it had to cool down, some caramel, so which is sugar with water until it browned to get this lovely caramel color. In the absence of the caramel, or if you don't have time to make the caramel, you can substitute with molasses.
Exactly. The famous problem that we have here in Canada is we don't have time.
That's
right. So we're trying to make their life easier, keeping the traditions, keeping the authenticity of the recipe. So I have always to say that we unfortunately sometimes we don't find available some ingredients. So my one of my scope is always to find a rice substitute to make it easier to make the recipe, and of course make it almost the same. But what I best suggest is go in Calabria and have food right there on the spot with nonna, with locals and local chefs. That's probably the best part.
Right. I couldn't agree more. Okay, so this, you could, if you have a stand mixer, you could easily do this in the mixer, but we figure everybody has a set of hands, so we're mixing it all by hand.
So my gnocchi dough, it's ready. If you see, it's not sticky, it's nice and soft, and I can guarantee that are just very melt in your mouth. It's gonna be like a little peels stuffed with Winter's tonight. Okay, so we need to let this rest for a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm gonna start making the sauce for our gnocchi. So as I said, we have a red onion. I really miss my cipolla rossa di Tropea, but we have a delicious and sweet red onion. The reason why I use a red onion is not just because cipolla rossa di Tropea, but cipolla rossa, red onion, has a little bit more flavor and sweetness compared to other onions. So because I really love and having flavors in my dishes, and Calabria is the land of the Mediterranean diet. Don't forget, the Mediterranean diet has been tested and experimented in Nicotra, so in Provincia di Vibo Valencia. And everybody, for a long living and good life, should follow that Mediterranean diet suggestions. So I'm going to just move at the stove. I'm going to saute some onion, and I'm going to take with me these tomatoes. I'm going to heat my pan. What do we need? We need some extra virgin olive oil. Don't forget that also Calabria is a beautiful land for olive oil. And extra virgin olive oil, you know, when Calabria was one of the colonies of Magna Graecia. So the Greeks, when they colonized Calabria, they found that this land is very rich and generous, that whatever they used to plant was coming strong and delicious. So they decided to start bringing their olive trees and plant the olive trees of there. So I need just the rosemary. And as well, the olive trees, they also start to plant vineyards. So they start the culture of wine. Ecco fatto, there you go. This is called sugo alla spillinghese, Jenny, because from Spillinga,
Which is?
the capital of Duja. So Duja has been invented as Spillinga, and they are, you know, the one who take ownership on this beautiful recipe. And we have actually local importers. They bring this in Duja. Is available in many stores. I haven't seen, so you can check it out with your local store. But this is Chef Luciano production, so we don't get wrong. In November, I'm gonna make again my 30 kilos Duja. So I can, well, this is a peanut butter for the Calabrese, right? So, or Nutella, exactly, because you're well known for Nutella, right? I like that. We are going to saute the onions until it's nice and soft, translucent. I don't want to say golden brown, but almost we're going there. And we're just going to have a medium heat. We don't have a very high fire. We saute nice, and the smell of soffritto, the onion and olive oil fried is something that really remembers me my grandmother. When she made the sugo Sunday with all of us waiting after church to go at her house for lunch. So I see that you're cutting. So after you made the dough?
So yeah, we just want to just give a quick recap of what happened. So once the dough came together, it forms almost like a gingerbread kind of dough.
Yep.
In the consistency. So we put it in a pan, and we're going to score the top because this is going to help us later.
Okay.
We have to cut into it.
Interesting.
And also, before I spread it in, we mixed in some almonds, and then we're just going to top the stomatico with a bit of a decorative almond on top.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is going to go into the oven for 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to pull it out, and we'll show you the next step.
Interesting. And we need some egg brush?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm going to myself. Then I add the rosemary. And I love the smell. As you see, Calabrese, they always use a lot of herbs to flavor their food. Okay, it's time now to add some red wine. We have to evaporate this wine, and I just can tell you that it's so delicious. The smell of red onion, rosemary, thyme is fantastic. Okay, the wine is evaporated. We're gonna add our tomatoes. Just breaking down a little bit. Okay. Put a little bit down. Jenny, I'm all yours. Okay, right in the oven. Very good. Ti volevo chiedere, Jenny, ma quando tu le metti nel forno, fai anche il segno della croce sopra l'impasto?
Oh, no, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. So, ogni volta che, per esempio, facciamo un sugo, ogni volta che finiamo, mia nonna faceva il segno della croce, tipo, you know, God bless what I'm making here, or thank God for the providence, for all good stuff that we have today. No, this is something that I really like to remember. And, you know, I still do. It so comes so natural. And every time that I make something, people probably sometimes they look at me weird. But, you know, I said, yeah, that's my nonna all the time that she does something.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna just add a little bit of salt to the sauce to season it. And we have just to cook this for the next, I would say it doesn't need too long. So with 5 minutes, we're gonna be good. So I see that you have some leftover of these cookies. So that means they can make a bigger tray, a smaller trays, and different sizes. So just make that accordingly with the size of your trays. What we can say that probably they have to put how much, like an inch,
I would say about an inch of thickness.
Yeah, of thickness. So that way you're gonna have your beautiful stomatico ready in your oven. So
just one other little point that I wanted to mention about the stomatico. That in Calabria, the Ministry of Italian Agriculture actually gave it an agricultural designation.
Yes.
That it's a traditional agricultural product.
Wow, that's fine. Well, it's great to find these little heritage niches products because in Italy we have this DOP, EGP, we have a lot of this designation. And this is great as a Ministry of the Agriculture recognize in Calabria one of these desserts so to be preserved, right?
Exactly.
And that's great. So our sauce is almost done, and we start making our cherry tomatoes, cherry pepper stuffed, not cherry tomatoes. Io spengo il sugo, so the sauce is ready. We have our gnocchi, they're resting for a little bit, so that way ricotta and flour, they are getting together, so it's gonna binding. The gluten is absorb a little bit the moist of ricotta, and that is gonna be after for our stuffing. So I found this fresh pepper at the local store. I just excavate few of them, as you can see. And it's a very easy process. So what I recommend if you want to use gloves, because they're spicy and you don't want to touch your face or your eyes, so and you have probably use. I don't because I'm Calabrese. I should be used to spices, right? Exactly. So what do we do with the tip of a knife? You have to course around the pepper and open it up. As you see, I'm opening. Then you put the tip of the knife inside. Okay, and you just lift out the inside. There you go. If they have a question, Jenny, we can read their question, and we are very happy to answer all their questions.
Yeah. So you are asking if we can substitute all-purpose flour for double zero flour?
Of course.
Yes.
I just actually, I want to, it's a good question. I like this question. So education is very important. All-purpose flour and double zero flour are very, very, very close. So what he changes the amount of proteins inside the flour. So if you check double zero, usually has 11 grams proteins. All-purpose has 13, sometimes 12 and a half grams proteins. They're very, very close. Of course, double zero is made in Italy, as all the Italian concept of that, and I support to buy made in Italy products. So I can disagree with different also that, right?
So one of the other questions that we received was, can you substitute maple syrup for the molasses or for the caramel?
Oh, they will make a Canadian stomatico. Why not? You give me an idea for next year. So I'm going to go celebrate in Canada Day, making a stomatico with the maple syrup. But yes, so if you use actually maple syrup, please don't add water because maple syrup is already more liquid than caramel. So you just don't forget about the amount of water. You just substitute 200 grams, 250 grams of maple syrup instead of sugar and water. So that's very important. So you don't want to mess up with your recipe.
And John, we just had one more question.
Yeah.
We just had one more question with regards to the sauce that you've got simmering over there.
Yes.
How much wine did you add?
Well, there was a Benjamin Franklin say, I cook with wine, sometime I add to the food. So really, I just go with my heart. Sometimes if I have my glass, I fill it up my glass. Well, the wine, it can be in that sauce. I just pour like half glass of wine if you want to have a quantity. But what I usually say is you pour the wine in a pan and you see how it evaporates it. So when he creates it like a kind of level of wine inside, you're good. So that's the measure that I do for the wine. Okay, so as you see, we clean our pepperoncini and we are emptying them out. And you have two choices now with this pepperoncini, right? You can easily stuff raw without pickling, or you have to pickle in vinegar, or you can just like do a shock, like a bath of vinegar and water, okay? And take it out, you let them cooling down, and then when they are cold, nice and dry, you're gonna fill them up with filling. Or as I like, I go straight forward with the filling, because the vinegar from the capers, they're actually pickling our peppers. That's right. So, Jenny.
For anyone who's pickling on your channel, what type of vinegar? Is it white vinegar that you're using?
That's another question. So, in Calabria, we have a red wine. So, in many of the times, we always use red wine because red vinegar, sorry, I say red wine, but red vinegar is very common in our cantinas. In my cantina, I make my own vinegars. Don't tell me how many things I do a lot. But you can buy red vinegars to pickle your products. I know that we have a lot of tanks, 3 and 5 liters, let's say, for pickling, 6% acidity, and on and on. But I really suggest to use vinegar because it gives flavor to your ingredients. And that's what you need today. You need flavors. Vinegars, the white, clear vinegar is processed. And I'm the president of Slow Food Toronto, and I don't support processed food. So I have always to support old-fashioned, traditional ingredients, cooking, and food. So I always go with red or white vinegar. And if you go, of course, in north of Italy, we have aceto balsamico, but that's for salad. It's another thing. It's not for pickling, correct? So how are we going to stuff our pepper? We are going to have capers. And you see there are 20 grams on your recipe. That's where 20 grams of anchovies, right? And we are going just to mince nicely. That's very important. And we have to puree, and at some point we're gonna add also tuna. So those are gluten-free. What I haven't seen my zia in Calabria, she also adds some breadcrumb. But that is the Calabrese that like to cheat. No, I won't say my zia is cheating, but kind of. Because breadcrumb, you know, that costs these products, right? Capers, tuna. So to dilute it or balance out the cost of the recipe, they add breadcrumb. But also, breadcrumb is the formaggio dei poveri.
I was just going to say, because isn't there a pasta dish where you cook with the breadcrumbs to emulate the
exactly. Well, you know way better. We're gonna cook that, so we don't want to anticipate it. But it's called spaghetti alla corte d'Assise. Spaghetti alla corte d'Assise, right? And we are going to feature this recipe soon. So don't you just stay tuned. The register for all classes because we are going to have a lot of fun. So there you go. So we just minced our anchovies and capers. We're gonna add our tuna. And we're going to mix them together.
Could you add any herbs in here if you wanted to?
I would say not. Well, no, if you want to add parsley or garlic, I would say yes, you can definitely do that. It's very versatile and flexible in that. So we try to keep this the version that is traditional, but of course. Then after that we stuff this chili pepper. All right, so we can get a mason jar. We put it nice in a mason jar or a jar that you want. We fill it up with the oil, and you put in your cantina or in a very kind of cold space if you have a basement. So, and then if you like, you can even eat right away. But you know what I mean. They are very delicious, but they always have to sit for at least 30 days. Right. So we let this sit for a little bit. We have our stomatico that probably is going to be there to be almost done. We are going to make the little polpettine di induja for our gnocchi. So we get a plate. So what is induja? For who never see that, that casing is the original casing that like traditional, like back home. Induja is a combination of 3 parts of fat, meat, and chili pepper. Now, when it comes with the chili pepper, that chili pepper is cut out because, you know, it's too spicy. So they add a little bit of sweet and hot pepper to understand how much, you know, the heat you like in your induja. And that's it. You have to mix all these ingredients. You mix many, many times until it comes like a spread that you see. This is a very, very soft induja, okay? So this is, believe it or not, Jenny is 3 years old. Yes. So you're gonna make this little polpettine of induja that we're gonna stuff our gnocchi. It's the size of an hazelnut. Right. If I want to say this is the size of an hazelnut. Why the induja is so popular now? That's interesting because it's full of flavor. And this is versatile. If you may induja on a bread, on roasted bread, you may add induja to a sauce, as we did today. You may add induja in your stuffed eggplant, as we are going to do soon. But induja is a very, very versatile. He will elevate your dish. I don't want to say it's the Calabrese umami, but please let me know. I'm so proud of my Calabria, and I want to say that. And that's why, as Corrado was saying in the introduction, that I organize my culinary tours every year, going south to Calabria for 10 days with groups of 10, 12 people per time. We show the best of Calabria, touching all the provinces, going to wineries, buffalo farms. We have one of the biggest buffalo farm in the south of Italy, in Corigliano, La Favella, and on and on. So this is one of the reasons where really we have to let people discover Calabria and the beauty of Calabria, right?
So we just had a question come in about the nduja. Substitute. What could you substitute for nduja if somebody couldn't find it or didn't like it?
Well, technically you may substitute. If you want to stuff your gnocchi, you stuff with something that you like. You want to stuff your gnocchi with caciocavallo. If I want to stay in Calabria, we have a cappuccino alla Silano, right? But again, you can start with a mozzarella, you can start with a little bit of burrata, some mushroom, you can saute the mushrooms, and then you add the mushrooms in the middle of your gnocchi. But then you have to make the sauce accordingly to the stuffing.
Exactly.
You know, and as a chef, I have to say, Italians, they don't really like pasta. Don't look at me bad because it's true. We don't really like pasta. We like sauces. The sauce, that's where we make the scarpetta, right? So the reason why we like pasta so much, the sauce, is because we create so many different types of pasta to enjoy the sauce.
That's right.
Right? So this is actually one of the many things we have so many shapes of pasta, and it's not boring for sure. Italian food is not boring from the north to the south at all. There is a lot of story around that. And the other way around is when you make something stuffed, like ravioli, agnolotti, tortellini, the sauce has to be simple, because that is when you want to enjoy the feeling of your ravioli, tortelloni, and in this case also gnocchi stuffed with nduja. So the sauce is very bland, very sweet because the onion, sweet because the rosemary is sweet, and the tomato because we need tomatoes. So come on, Italians with tomatoes, you know, we take over the world, right? So I will say that. So our polpettini are ready. We are getting ready to stuff our paper. We want just to check our stomatico. Oh, you need your gloves. Oh my God, I smell it. The cinnamon, the cloves. This is beautiful. Look at here. Oh my God. Okay, now, yeah, we're almost there. A few more minutes. Perfect. So just good enough time to start stuffing our papers. Okay. All right. So what we do is, if you don't want to get your hands dirty, you can use your fork and you push in. So go with the fork, even a little spoon. There you go. See?
So I have another question, Luciano, about the nduja. Someone is asking, would you say it's similar to chorizo or blood sausage?
Oh no, please. It's a different type of meat used for that. So chorizo is actually a 65% of meat and 35% fat, right? So in this case, we're talking about 30%. So let's say we have one nduja, 3 kilos nduja, is 1 kilo fat, 1 kilo meat, and 1 kilo pepper. So it's a very, very soft and spicy, and then you have to mince so many times to cream it, to make it spreadable. And then the more you let ferment, the more you let age, the better. That's why this is 2 years old, and all the ingredients, you know, it's a fermented. That's the best of this ingredient. And also, I offer master classes to making salami and nduja. So if anybody is interested, you know, you're more than welcome and free to join us at Culinarium, where we can showcase. Maybe you can help me making this. How to make a salami in nduja. You can make your own, and then you can take it home and age in your cantina with your own time. And I'm very, very happy to share my knowledge and my skills with all of you. So I'm sure that you probably received your coupon, 50% off to any of our activity here at Culinarium, any of all our products that we are going to sell soon. And also it's Thanksgiving, so it's Thanksgiving week.
That's right.
Okay? So we are going to cook for you. If you have not plans yet, so you can go on culinarium.co and check it out, because we put together with Jenny, Osteria Italia, and another amazing pastry chef, a menu to go. Is a package for 4 and package for 10. So don't struggle about cooking. We're gonna take care of you, and you can use your 15% off over that package. So feel free. Don't forget also to visit culinarium.co and sign up our newsletter so you can get stay tuned and updated for all our events. Correct?
That's
Yes.
right,
Allora, andiamo ai nostri gnocchi. So to make our gnocchi, we get a little piece of dough, the size, what I can say, the size of a walnut. Is the size of a walnut. Yeah. Okay, I don't golf. Sorry. So you start learning me more now, right? I'm Calabrese. I make salami all the time. So that's it. So you put your little pallina, the andouille inside. You close it, and after you close it, you roll it like a meatball. Okay. Make sure that you close it up. Perfecto. And there you go. Okay? Well, it can become a weapon. Exactly.
So, Luciano, I don't know if our participants this evening know, but you talked about some of the savory uses for andouille, but you also have a very interesting dolce that you make with andouille, right?
Well, well, that's because I like to play with the ingredients, and I made a gelato with andouille.
That's right.
And this is a truffle chocolate gelato variegato all'andouille. So it's like a variegato alla marena. I did a variegato all'andouille. So this is something that I'm really, happy to put andouille everywhere. It's like a spicy chocolate. You have these chocolate tops with the chili flakes. And okay, so to show you again what I'm doing, you do a bowl with your index. You make a hole. All right. So it's like making a little arancini. Not sure if you ever done arancini. You pour your hazelnut in here. You close it. You close. You close. All right. And then you roll it. This is my creation.
There we go.
Okay. I'm very proud that I invented this dish. And see, the stuffed pepperoncini. That's a fantastic appetizer. And now the holidays are also coming. That's perfect for your table.
Yeah, something different.
Something different, exactly.
You could, if you really wanted to get creative, see if you could find the green peppers as well. They
yes,
red and green
color.
for the holidays,
yeah.
Right? So let me just keep checking back to see if we have any questions. So we have another question with regards to the gnocchi. Can these be frozen?
I suggest not to freeze the gnocchi because, well, I will say this. If you freeze your gnocchi, you need to cook right away from the freezer. So you don't have to defrost them. And you need a lot of water because, the shock of this frozen in the water has to be boiling water and has to be a lot of water because if you put just a little bit of water, too many gnocchi, he drops the temperature and he will open, and I don't think you will enjoy that after. So I suggest no.
Okay, so while you are finishing rolling the gnocchi, I'm going to check on our stomatico.
Perfetto.
I can smell the beautiful aroma.
I do. Okay. So we are almost there. And I would say that probably you can, they're big, they're very generous. I smell it. Oh my goodness.
So we're just going to show you. So it's almost like a gingerbread. The smell, I can't even describe it.
Can I add some andouille on top?
We should try it. Stomatico and maple syrup.
Well, maybe we can be,
Maple syrup and andouille infusion stomatico. We'll work on that one for next time. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to move your plate.
Yes.
So where we scored it earlier, we're going to cut all the way through now down to the bottom.
It's very soft, huh? Yeah. Wow.
I could almost actually just take a piece and eat it right now. Just like
oh, don't tell me. Well, you know what? You tempted me to have a piece of andouille.
There you go.
Well, that's so delicious. It's spicy, but I love it. I'm Calabrese. I'm used to the heat.
So we've scored it now to make it easier for when we pull it out. And then this is going to go back in the oven for about another 10-15 minutes just to stiffen up a bit more. And then it's ready.
Very good. And we are ready too here. So gnocchi, when you boil your gnocchi, it won't take too long. Because this gnocchi, the water is boiling, and I see that. When the gnocchi are coming out of the water, you just wait like would say 30 seconds just to let it fully cook. This is not al dente. Just want to answer this question. There is not al dente when it comes to gnocchi. It has to be fully cooked. Okay.
The heat from the,
Suspento.
yeah, because the heat from the stove.
Okay, so we have our gnocchi ready, and I'm going right away to boil. So you see, we have our gnocchi is here.
So unfortunately, we lost our camera over the stove. The heat has affected the phone a bit, but we'll we'll try guys.
We are going to boil now. There is a boiling water. Chi sale la pasta, chi sale l'acqua, chi mette la pasta is a golden rule. Who adds salt to the pot, to the water? Who's cooking the pasta? So this way, especially in Italian houses, you know, everybody's cooking, zia, nonna, cousins. No. Who cooked the pasta, adds salt to the water. All right, so I'm adding this, and I'm adding our gnocchi. Ecco qua. Yes, we have this here. As you can see, I have my gnocchi. They're boiling, and the sauce is here ready. I'm gonna get a plate soon to plate them. Our stomatico is in the oven. And what I can also suggest everybody, you have the recipes available now. Get the recipe and cook with your family. It's just awesome, fantastic to spend quality time with your family, your friends, and cook together, eat together. I will never get tired to say that eating is a social practice. Okay, he will take it off your stress. He will get some glass of wine if you can. I don't promote drinking wine, but you know, use to eat together, to cook together, to stay around the table. Un giorno in famiglia is something like we are, you know, with Jenny, we are founder of Heritage Calabria, and we are coming back this year soon. We're gonna just say that we are coming back this year with the Just Calabria Day. It's not gonna be a week of celebration, but we are still going to celebrate La Famiglia. And this is very important to us as not just Calabrese, but as Italians and as a young, because we are the one who have to give the example on how the family can get together. All right, so they are boiling. They will come up when they are ready, and we are this tomatico. Okay, just like, it smells so good.
I know, so it's just incredible. Luciano, we
Yes.
just had another question about the gnocchi. How far in advance can you make them?
Oh well, you can make it even this morning and serve for this for in the morning and serving in the evening, so no problem. What I recommend to keep them refrigerated, and also you buy some semolina. You find some of these Italian grocery stores. You roll it in the semolina. Semolina will keep the moist, and it will not make wet your gnocchi. Or gnocchi be frozen. Yeah, very good.
So how are we? Are we almost ready there, chef?
Yeah, we need 1 more minute. That's for sure. As I said, they need to come out. The sauce is ready. We're just going to heat it up a little bit.
If you had to choose a wine to pair with this
Yes.
dish, what would you choose?
Well, I'm Calabrese and I have to choose a Ciro Rosso, right? And we have a good wine from Ciro, and we have a good wine from Reggio Calabria, so we have to say that. But available, even at LCBO, I haven't seen some good Calabrese wine, so don't hesitate to go to your local CBO and check for your Calabrese wine because it's available. And also, you know, Jenny, we have a connection with the wine agents. They're importing also other wines, so we can. And you just give me more things to talk. Culinarium is launching a wine club.
Oh,
so we are actually going to get once per month people to experience and know more about not just Italian wine. The first one is going to be Italian because I have to, right? But we have a wine from around the world with a sommelier who's going to educate people, and people can purchase wine, taste wine. They're going to have a special menu paired with that wine, and see, you see, they are start coming out.
You can see here, but they're starting to come up to the surface.
Yeah. See, they're moving, they're cooked. In the meantime, we are going to take the stomatico out and ready to serve.
Right.
I hope that everybody enjoy these recipes. I see that there is a recipe for the hazelnut stuffing. Is there a recipe for the hazelnut stuffing? No, probably it was when I said that the size of the polpettini, the stuffing was at the size of an hazelnut.
Okay.
So our gnocchi are ready, and I'm just going to saute in our pan. And ready to serve it. Maybe we go at the front. So to serve this, we're gonna put something on the back, on the table. As I say, they are very big, so I wouldn't go with more than 4 per person, especially if you have a big, menu or course. Just to put a 5 because we want to have a nice presentation. And you know, when people ask me if Calabrese cuisine can become a fine dining cuisine for a restaurant, it's a yes.
Absolutely.
It's a fully pass because we have natural ingredients. We have a very, very flavorful ingredients, seasonal ingredients. We cook seasonal, straightforward, no doubts on that. And we deserve to have a better space and spot in all restaurants menu and around the world. So I really believe that. Your stomatico probably is ready, and I give this to you. And there you go. It's very good.
In here. I'm going to just pull the whole piece out for us to take a look at.
Now, should we top with cheese or not? That was my question today. And I said, yes, if you found some good crotonese cheese, you can just grate some fresh crotonese cheese. Or if you found some ricotta salata, you can add some ricotta salata. And if you found, I have, and I can tell you how, but I have my smoked ricotta. So it's a smoked ricotta, dried, and you can shave it as a truffle. I would say that probably the smoked ricotta is the truffle of Calabria. Oh wow, look at that. So delicious.
Just again, I keep saying I wish you could smell it in here because it's just amazing. So there's our dessert. That's our stomatico.
That's beautiful.
And this is fantastic with a nice espresso to close out your meal.
Oh yeah. And maybe even a glass of wine if you want. We have the Greco di Bianco, the Greco for their dessert wine from Calabria.
You know what? Even as a digestive, a nice amaro. And
we have a lot of amaros that are coming and that are available here in Canada. Exactly. See, Calabria is taking over the world. I can't believe it. It's not just Tropea, right? Calabria is taking over the world. And I really enjoyed myself today, Jenny. Thank you so much.
We hope you guys will try the meal that we prepared this evening, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time for the next lesson.
Yeah. And we thank the Camera di Commercio for the opportunity to show the best of Calabria tonight. And But why we don't try it?
I think that's a great idea.
I think it's dinner time, right? It's
Buon
something.
appetito.
Buon appetito. So that's really good. Oh, look. I want to show is actually, if I can, the inside. Right? You can see it. It's a little bit of sauce, and a little bit of hot gnocchi.
Okay. Thank you very much.
See how the rosemary is paired with the nduja. It's spicy enough, and then the sweetness of the red onion and the flavor of the rosemary balance it out the spiciness. Exactly. Very lovely. I like it. I probably am going to have more. See if we have a question.
So someone's asking, can you bake the stomatico like biscotti? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can. The same procedure. In fact, if we wanted this to be a little bit crisper, we would put this back in the oven at a lower heat and leave it in for another 10-15 minutes. But absolutely, you can bake it up like biscotti.
That's right. Can we cut it even smaller, right? If we want.
Yes.
I think, you know what? I want to try a piece of this stomatico. I'm getting hungry here.
There we go, chef.
All right. That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's all we have for questions. So I guess that's it for us tonight.
And it's not overly sweet. It's delicious. It's perfect. So stomatico is a recipe that is actually, disappearing. That's the reason why we are cooking this recipe, because we want not just Calabrese, but the bigger audience, everyone, to know more about simple and delicious and the Calabrese cuisine, and how to cook these recipes in 1 hour. So it's just great. It's just great. And also you can preserve and stock up your cantina shelf with the pepperoncini. So I really love to share my recipe and tradition with everybody.
We're happy you're sharing them with channel. And on that note, I think we'll send it back over to Corrado.
Ciao, Luciano. Ciao, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having lured us to the realm of, this strange name, Nduja, Stomatico. It's really part of the mystery of the magic also of Calabria. Thank you very much. We're going to meet us obviously next Tuesday. Thank you to Luciano Schipano and the Culinarium. And obviously, thank you to Jenny Arena. I would like to thank also Fortino's. The products that have been used tonight have all been taken by the shelf from the stores of Fortino's. Also, I would like to thank the people that tonight have worked to realize this event. Isabella, Astrid, Tiziana, and obviously all the staff of ICCO, Mary, Marisa, Ilaria, Monica, Luca, Federico, Richard, so many people. I just want to remind to everybody that tomorrow at 1, ICCO Canada is again on a webinar, a virtual advice by RBC with David Richardson, Vice President, Head Enterprise Distribution Strategy, RBC Global Asset Management, another activity. And I hope to see you there tomorrow. Have a good night, and thank you again. Thank you to the audience. Thank to Luciano. Thanks to Jenny. Fantastic night. Grazie.